Gator Bowl, number 22 Clemson, 4.5-point favorite against Kentucky. Wonder how much the way that things played out down the stretch impacted that line. I thought for 3 hours that we would have an interim coach for Kentucky in this game. Not going to be the case. We will have Mark Stoops, who has one loss against non-SEC teams in the last 6 seasons, and it was last year's disaster of a bowl game against Iowa. If anybody actually watched that on New Year's Eve, you are a stronger person than I am. This time, though, his starting quarterback is playing. I don't know if that's always been the best thing for Kentucky this year, but Devin Leary is going to be out there. He's expected to be. He already beat Clemson at one point in his career back when he was at NC State. Ray Davis is going to the NFL, but he is going to be playing in this game. Clemson is going to have a ton of defensive starters out for this one. But worth noting, Clemson has not lost since Tyler from Spartanburg got on the horn and got in Dabo's ear. Some are saying Tyler from Spartanburg is a made-up human being that, just came at the exact right time for Clemson to be able to get them right. Marler, can you bring yourself to say that Clemson minus 4.5 is the best play?
Yes. And I can't stand Dabo, but yeah, it's the best play. Now I will say them having so many players out defensively, that is concerning because that has been the strength of this team. And it's not even remotely close. That is easily the strength of this team. I think Kentucky, man, Devin Leary, some idiot that wears glasses and has terrible lighting, said that he was going to be the third best quarterback in the SEC to start the year. So maybe the lesson learned here is, Connor, we don't rank quarterbacks number 3 anymore because that's not been a good system.
Whoa. Hold on. Who's complaining about my lighting when you look like you've got an angel over half of your body right now with the sun?
I was making fun of myself. I'm the one that rated. Did you rate him third?
Oh, yeah, I did too. I thought you were talking about me there.
No, yeah, this is the angel lighting for sure. No, I was definitely making fun of myself. I thought he was going to be fantastic. They returned all their top 5 pass catchers. It just never seemed to work out, even with Liam Cohen coming back. Love the way they closed the season against Louisville. Love the fact that Ray Davis is going to play in this game. Every time that we've expected them to get up for a game minus the Louisville game, it has been the opposite of that. They got trounced by Bama. They got absolutely run out of the building against Georgia. Now, granted, those are Georgia and Bama. But you had a 14-point lead against Mizzou. You had a 14-point lead against Mizzou and got boat raced. So I like this spot for Kentucky because I think that defense could kind of give some fits to Cade Klubnik. Yeah, screw it. I just talked myself into it, I guess. I'll take Kentucky, I guess. I mean, the defensive starters out for Clemson, that's the strength of that team. They've been so inconsistent on offense.
Bob, do you agree with Marler knowing that there is that Jack Harlow stat that I dropped on you earlier? Not sure if that's impacting your betting.
That is important to note. There's no question about it. I do want to point out that you started on Clemson, and by the end of that, you worked yourself back to Kentucky. Let me throw you a curveball here. I'm gonna table the ATS trends for a second. Something that you don't need to know about me, but you're going to, is that I, for a number of years, was an American Legion baseball coach, head coach. And my starting shortstop for 2 of those seasons was none other than Devin Leary. I coached Devin Leary for 2 years in baseball. Great guy. I don't appreciate the Devin Leary slander. No, listen,
did he overthrow the first
so he was
there
good
too?
Shortstop. I mean, I tell you what, deep in the hole, he would juggle a ball, and you're like, well, he's obviously safe. You look up, 95 miles an hour, knee high across the infield. The kid's out by 2 feet at first base. He's got an arm. You got to give him that. Look, I mean, I think that for Devin, a lot of his career, it feels like every time there's some momentum behind him, every time you expect that next step to be taken for a variety of reasons. And at NC State, it was a lot of injury issues. But he just, whatever it is, whether it's him, the team, whatever it's been, they've kind of had a hard time taking that next step. And so I think some of the things that you guys are talking about here are certainly warranted. I just look at this and I think that Clemson finished with a ton of momentum. There's really nothing about Kentucky that says that they're going to rise to the occasion. 1-4 against the spread as an underdog this season. I'll probably take Clemson in this game, laying the 4.5.
Gosh, I didn't realize we were talking to Devin Leary's American Legion baseball coach. That totally changes it. Which, look, Devin Leary's 24 years old, so that was probably, 10 years ago?
Yeah, I guess we had him probably had to be 2014, 2015, somewhere in there, yeah.
Gosh, he's old, and he's playing in this
How old
game.
am I?
Marler. I didn't want to ask that, but come on, I don't want to go
From
there. I don't want to
38,
call you out on
very
that.
youthful-looking 38 years old here.
We're just a bunch of guys in our 30s who are going to be watching these bowl games and probably living and dying with them. There's nothing wrong with that. Marler, are you talked into by the end of this, after your roundabout way of buying into Kentucky and former Devin Leary coach Bob Wankel? Are you now telling yourself that there is maybe a first half under that makes a little bit of sense, or would you actually go in the opposite direction, knowing that Clemson could be hurt on the defensive side of the ball?
I mean, honestly, so the under seems like it would be the play for both sides of this. But I would say that if you're looking for a prop bet, there's probably good value on this as well. Is Devin Leary over for 1.5 touchdowns? Only because of the fact that I don't think that you're going to run the football on Clemson as a method of beating them. And I mean, maybe, and I love Ray Davis. He's been awesome, and I think they'll probably try to, in his send off, give him his flowers and as many opportunities as possible. But I will also say that I think that there's still a lot of talent in that receiver room and at the quarterback position, and they still have the OC with Liam Cohen, your twin. So that's where I think the best value would be.
Ray Davis over on total yards would be an interesting one too, with the point that you just brought up about trying to give him that send off and do right by him. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Hey, sports fans, we've got an exciting offer exclusively for new users of ESPN Bet. When you join, be sure to enter the promo code SOUTH during sign up to unlock an additional $50 in your betting account. That's right. You can wager on your favorite sports and receive up to $250 in bonus bets when you use the promo code SOUTH. Please remember, you must be 21 years old to participate in sports betting. We encourage responsible gambling within your means. If you ever need assistance or support, please reach out to 1-800-522-4700. Join the action today and make the most of this fantastic offer.